Let's get into the agenda, shall we? And the most alarming performance came under the lid at Marvel Stadium on Saturday afternoon. Essendon, with so much to play for, well, they failed in more ways than one, leaving Bombers fans absolutely livid and wondering where to now yet again.
Where are you, Essendon?
Here's Richelli. Richelli kicks the goal. Adelaide are in front. Adelaide have hit the front.
The really unfortunate reality for us is that we experienced a gutting loss that I wouldn't wish upon our club. But as a coach, somewhat perversely, it's the best opportunity to get better, to learn your lessons. I've got the players on the edge of their seats at the moment.
And the Bombers have got significant issues.
They are at 6s and 7s at the moment, the Bombers.
And Essendon are in all sorts.
They are putting the Bombers and their supporter base into a world of pain.
They are completely rattled, the Bombers.
The headaches for that man, Brad Scott.
It's obviously extremely disappointing. The end result's extremely disappointing, but more disappointing than that was, you know, a lack of effort and intent.
And we're down. Another nail in the Essendon coffin. It's grim times at Windy Hill out of the hangar.
It doesn't take much in this game to, if you drop off in that area, for you to look second rate and we look third rate.
I don't know where they start to correct this. I don't know where Brad starts with this.
There are too many nice footballers in this team that aren't ruthless enough.
There's no way St Kilda should beat them like that, talent for talent. No way in the world. So they've got to get it right.
We want to play a style that's competitive against the best teams. That gives us a chance to compete at the pointy end of the year, and right here, right now, we're not there. That's pretty obvious.
Forget winning a final. The Bombers have got a tough task to even make it to September.
They were ugly scenes, weren't they? And it now makes it 6 losses from their past 8 games. I don't think anyone thought Saturday would unfold in the manner it did. But first, before I get your thoughts, Robbo, Jared's given me the keys for the old snakes and ladders, and we won't go fully into depth with the other teams because we do want to get stuck into the Essendon debate. But they were one of 2 teams to really fall down the ladder in Carlton and Essendon, but most importantly for the Bombers, they are out of the 8 with 4 rounds remaining.
Oh, it was an abysmal performance, wasn't it? Such a build-up after last week's game against Adelaide. You know, Brad Scott, they're on the edge of the seats, and the anticipation was it was going to be some sort of response, and to cough that response up and just lay down like they did, they've opened themselves up for criticism from Essendon fans, ridicule from opposition fans, commentators, experts, pulling apart them defensively, pulling them apart in the midfield. And then you've got, you know, the couch coaches, which I hope to be one of them. I'm a couch coach, saying, is this mob, are they mentally... That's such a cliche to say, but they've been pretty strong all year. And when they get to the game where they actually have to stand up, they folded like a deck of cards. Now, does that make them mentally weak? Does it make them not mentally ready to take on that next step? Because there's steps through the year, you know, closer to finals, the pressure mounts. And they got to this game, they had to win, and they just crumbled in all areas. And you can have a go at the effort and intent, and from there, everything falls apart. But the mistakes they made, You look at these players and say, you're more talented than this. What's going on? Where's the cohesion? This is a cliche again, but I think footy can be cliche-ridden when you have a performance like that. Where's the support for each other? Where's caring about your teammate rather than yourself? Where is it? Just getting that kick to them so they're not under pressure. So, because they created so much turmoil for themselves. And then the Saints, man, they sniffed the blood in the water and went, bang, we are going to poleaxe you. This is their disappointing result of the season.
So thinking about this and also watching the Hawks and interviewing Sam Mitchell yesterday, I remembered they were 0-5.
Yep.
And he gave that press conference where he said, I thought we would pass these kind of losses. It was 0-5, beaten by the Gold Coast, worst start to a season since 1954 or something. And then they turn it around, get on track, and look at them now, they're flying. And I remember asking Sam Mitchell a month or so later, what changed, what caused the turnaround? And he said it was the players. The players took ownership. Remember Dylan Moore came out and said, bring your mouth guards to training, boys, we need to get to work. And so you wonder, is this more on the players for Essendon, and do they need to take ownership, and do they need to show leadership? Because other than Dyson Heppel and Zach Merritt, who are you looking at and thinking, gee, that they're going to turn this around?
No, that's a fair comment you make. You know, the leaders have been questioned in recent years. As I said, they've been reasonably solid this year, and they haven't really given up in a lot of games until they got to that one. So suddenly everyone's leadership is questioned. I always believe in footy, they're in it together. There's the coach and the players. It's not necessarily all the coach's fault. It's not necessarily all the players' fault. Brad Scott, like any coach, he's got to set the environment. And you've got to play to the standards of that environment. And if you're not going to play to those standards, you don't play. So there's got to be selection integrity over this coming week. And these players have got to realise, I'm sure they do, they're playing for some of them are playing for their careers over the next month. Because there's no point of Essendon just trailing away again this year, and they're going, OK, we'll go with them again next year, and let's, fingers crossed, we'll work better defensively. They're playing for their careers. We might not see some of these players again, and that's how desperate it's got really quickly on the Essendon players.
Well, he was seething post-game, so he could wield the axe this year.
I wish we had a documentary camera in the post-match. Seriously, remember that great docu when all the coaches were swearing and going off? I would love to have seen what Brad said to the players behind closed doors.
He would love to be a fly on the wall.